ladies and gentlemen, Mr. T here for another round in our state tournament. So before we get going, if you haven't watched the preliminary round A, there's two of them, first half and second half. Stop this video and go watch those right now. So as you can see, we have our original map up here in green and white. The states that are in white, which are these states. I'm sorry, but if you see that your state is in red, your state will not be or has not been in this tournament. Don't worry, I'm going to do special videos so your state is still represented. So now let's look at our states in green. So these states in green, these are our original states. These are the 32 that started us off. We got states like Arizona, Oregon, Alaska. We got East Coast states like North Carolina, Maryland, Delaware, tiny little Rhode Island. If you squint, you can almost see it. And of course, we got Florida man down there. So last week we had preliminary round A, actually last 2 weeks, broken into two halves because there were so many matches. And this was the result of that map. As you can see, some major favorites like Texas, Alaska, Oregon, okay? They were eliminated. And yeah, so now that we are in this week, preliminary round B, this is our current map. These are the 16 states that are going to be fighting it out to see who goes on to preliminary round C. And then after that, we're in the semifinals. So we got states like Connecticut, tiny little baby Rhode Island. Again, if you squint, you can see it. We got Delaware, our first ever state. We got North Carolina. We got good old Florida man. We got Alabama. It's going to get very confusing here because their flags are back to back and they look almost identical. We got Missouri. We got Arkansas, otherwise known as Walmart land. We got Illinois, Ohio, Michigan. We got both Dakotas in this round, but they're not going to be fighting each other. We got Montana, which had an amazing match 2 weeks ago, knocking Texas out. Then we got Potato Land, otherwise known as Idaho. If you've ever eaten a French fry at Five Guys, it probably came from them. And of course, like always, ladies and gentlemen, we got Arizona. Okay? Now, Arizona, like I said, I promise you guys I did not set anything up. I didn't rig anything. I just set all the parameters and clicked go. The only thing I did set up was to make sure Arizona was Kirby. Otherwise, it is all legit, above board, and yeah. So let's go ahead without further ado. Let's see which of these 16 states are going to make it onto the next round. And by the end of this, we're going to only have 8 left. So let's jump right on in. Florida versus Rhode Island.
3, 2, 1, go!
North Dakota versus Alabama.
3, 2, 1, go!
Delaware versus Illinois.
3, 2, 1, go!
A lot of
Montana versus Arkansas.
3, 2, 1, go!
Had enough already?
Idaho versus Connecticut.
3, 2, 1, go!
Michigan versus Ohio.
3, 2, 1, go!
South Dakota versus North Carolina.
3, 2, 1, go!
Missouri versus Arizona.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, those were some crazy matches as always. Who would have thought Florida Man would have moved on yet again? And Alabama. Next week's going to be interesting because those two are going to be facing off against each other, and they pretty much have almost the same flag. We're not even going to be able to tell who's who. And of course, Montana is killing it. First they take out Texas, then they take out Walmart Land. Wow, they are just on a roll. And unfortunately, we are not going to see a Dakota versus Dakota because the North was knocked out. But next week, South Dakota will keep the Dakotas alive. And of course, my homeboy, in more ways than one, Arizona is still moving on. So let's see which of these 8 states can make it onto the semifinals. So stay tuned next week for the preliminary round C, and let's see which 4 will move on after that. As always, stay beautiful, Americans, and peace.